Wow, okay, so I was just working on a very big DC news roundup video, getting into the Wonder Woman stuff, the Superman stuff that came out in the past day, and I'm still going to upload that video, but of course, a new tickets on sale trailer just came out for Superman, and it wasn't just a like 10-second TV spot. They've put out a whole 2+ minute trailer. So I thought, okay, I can't fit this into the video I'm already preparing to release. That again, when that's uploading, it might come out later on tonight, or it might be tomorrow. There's a ton of stuff to talk about in that video. But I thought, okay, what I can do is give a bit of a reaction, a bit of a first impressions with all the new footage that we get in this, because I've heard there's a lot of new footage. Either way, let's get into this. I am going to talk about the Wonder Woman movie news. I am going to talk about all the other details that we've learned from the Entertainment Weekly stuff. Just bear with me with that. But I need to talk about this. I need to. So let's get into my reaction and first thoughts, impressions, breakdown of the newest Superman trailer. Okay. And this video might get blocked again because of the music. Luthor. Okay, some stuff we've seen from the TV spots. I love how he's holding that building up from crashing her car. We're actually seeing that. What? Is that whose voice is that? Oh, okay. It's Lex's voice. With Superman in his office, probably. I'll kill him too. Clark, I just realized like what he just said. He's that reporter you always do interviews with. I'll kill him too. Clark, no! Oh, man. This is... Is that Metamorpho? That's Anthony Carrigan's voice. I think. Okay, so I was right. Wait, whoa. Okay, the split is happening in the city. What? Make a move, Big Blue? Is that what you said? There's too much information. Too much information going on. What the hell? Oof. Oh my god, this is... how am I gonna... that was a very James Gunn... Well... Okay. Get tickets now. Have you got your tickets? That flying was pretty cool. I want to go back and see that again. Hold on. Yeah, get tickets now. I like... Oh, okay. The stabilization of the camera, that was pretty sick. Where do I begin? Where do I begin? Jeez Louise, Papa Cheese. My God. Like, there's so much stuff in that. There was so much Ultraman versus... Superman, there was frickin' the split in the city, which kind of looked like the pocket dimension coming out of the ground. I don't know if it's bleeding into our reality. There was the heat vision. Now, I had seen that heat vision clip behind the scenes. I guess that's all I can say there. So I thought that was coming out in a much shorter promo today, not as a part of this 2-minute thing. But the heat vision... that looked really, really cool. Now, first things first. First impressions is that I love how comic booky this is. Like, I think one thing that I'm already seeing on my other screen on Twitter is some people saying, oh, it's really goofy, but at the same time, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Exactly. This is the whole debate about this iteration of Superman. We don't need to get into a whole ideological argument about the way Superman should be executed, but to understand that Gunn is doing very fantastical comic book Superman. So this trailer, I think, more than any other trailer, I mean, the other trailers had kaijus, well, a kaiju in it and whatnot, but this trailer, more than any other trailer, really unapologetically was like, hey, here's basically All-Star Superman to other Superman comics, Silver Age Superman, brought to the screen, boom, There you are. And I do like them owning that a lot. I'm really happy that there was a lot of dialogue. Well, mostly in the beginning, I didn't recognize the voice. I was like, that's Nicholas Hoult? Lex just sounded a little bit different there. I can't really place why, but obviously when he's like, we finally meet. Now, as planned, I'll destroy you. Okay, that's definitely Lex. And then he even adds in poor Clark, which is kind of funny at the same time, and that reporter that you always do interviews with. Now, I don't think he's actually, maybe, to be fair, he could be on about Lois, but what we learned from the video that will hopefully be releasing after this is that Clark has done a lot of interviews with Superman. Not so much Lois, but obviously... Lex could be on about Lois Lane here because she's also a threat, so it would make sense him saying, I'll destroy Lois Lane as well. But it would be funny if it was Clark. And the choice of cutting some of these lines together when Lex is professing, who raised you as a child? And then it cuts to him in his little quantum, like, meta-human containment facility, I'll kill them too. I don't think those lines are linked, but that's what the trailer wanted to get across. And we also see that little freaking Parasite-esque kind of creepy alien Slender Man thing in the background there. So I wonder if actually that character we saw in the original behind-the-scenes trailer, who we've been speculating about, could just be some alien, was really just on his way to being locked up, because it looks like he's being transported into a cell or maybe out of a cell. But one of the most curious things to me in this trailer is of whom you would assume to be Ultraman. Heat visioning Superman. It's like, okay, we know Ultraman can do the heat vision thing as well, but I don't know if they've like edited the trailer, but when you zoom in to the person deploying heat vision to our Superman, it's like they've not got a helmet on, or like they've got some freaking like hoodie up, like a furry hood. I maybe I'm seeing it completely wrong right now, but I don't know if that's them just editing it so you can't clearly see the face, and at this point in the movie, the identity of who's under the black mask has been revealed. But honestly, I'm slowing it down, and it's like that Ultraman mask isn't really there, but something is covering up the true identity of that face. Now, I know, I get it. Do I really want to be spoiled about this? Not really, but when you're presenting it to me in a little trailer like this, where I can kind of see... something going on there. Who is that? Like, who is it really? Because obviously it's still up in the air as to whether it's a clone of Superman that looks like Superman, or does the clone of Superman look like Lex? I don't know. Or is it something else entirely different? And speaking of the Ultraman fight, for a second I thought this was Ultraman, but then I was like, I don't know. Because initially, with the way I'm slowing it down, it looks like there could be a drill on the hand, which I thought, okay, is that the engineer? But maybe it's just the slow-mo mushing of the VFX as I'm trying to slow it down. So it really is a hand. So is this actually Ultraman? But then when you slow it down even more, it's like there's a big bulk of something again, like I was pointing out earlier, on this person's head. And like even the armor looks a little bit different, like the shoulder pauldron area, than Ultraman. So like, does Lex like have another backup kind of Kryptonian-esque powered thing to go against Superman? But another thing maybe I could say is I wonder if this is the hammer of Baravia, and that was what was on the head of what I was talking about earlier. Like, so the big lump on the head, maybe like the armor's being stripped off by Superman mid-fight, chunk by chunk, and mainly like the bulky kind of helmet remains. This is the kind of stuff that I love speculating about, because it's just really like you don't truly know. And even if you have it in 4K like we do here, and we're slowing it down, it's like, what's going on there? But I can't wait to find out. There are quite a few flying shots that I really like in this trailer as well. I was concerned after the one ages ago that it would be all super up close. Now, I know there was another up close one in a recent TV spot. People were wondering if it was going to be memed again because it was the Black Adam very close. But there was something really cool and like visceral about how fast they were getting him to come across on screen there. And it wasn't like right into the camera, but it was done from a bit of an angle. So I don't mind that. And again, it seems that there is a variety of different ways they're capturing his flying, but they're still really trying to get across the point of view perspective of flying at times, which I do appreciate. I do like going back to that like little scene of him flying up and punching that guy in the face. But there's something slightly uncanny about the slow-mo on Superman's face there. Again, maybe it's a nitpick. Not even really particularly the guy on the left losing his teeth, but something about Superman's face comes across a bit visual effectsy to me. Is it a big deal? Not really. I only say that like because the Flash was a big deal, but so far what I'm seeing, like that's actually in my mind, from my recollection, the first shot I've seen of something like that out of all of this promo material so far. Like something that came across a bit like uncanny smooth or whatever way to articulate it. I know some of you will know what I mean. I know some of you will also be like, I don't see an issue at all, Boba. What are you talking about? But there's something about that. And my God, just in general, I know I keep flip-flopping all over the place, but that crack in the city, Jesus. Like, I like getting another look at Metropolis here from like a bird's eye view, but there's so much damage. How do you recover? How do you recover? It's like a tectonic plate shift. It's like Superman got to push both sides of Metropolis City back together. I don't know. And as for Guy Gardner and the Justice Gang here, loving what I see of Mr. Terrific, but the Guy Gardner bit had me intrigued, where, as we suspected, when Guy Gardner like blocked the view of the people outside and Superman went in there after maybe the kaiju fight because of the state his suit is in, a bit burned up. Obviously, they're at odds with maybe how they handled things. And you see Superman's got his hand on Guy Gardner's chest. And he, as Nathan Fillion said, again, we're going to get into this all in the next video. There's all these details. He thinks he's so cocky that he feels like he can take on Superman, which is kind of, true to his Green Lantern fearlessness. But no, dude, you can't take on Superman. But that's why he's like, make a move, Big Blue. So I'm really intrigued to see how this scene plays out here. I suspect that Guy Gardner will be told to kind of stand down or like, bro, come on, chill out, from Hawkgirl and Mr. Terrific, who are following shortly behind, as we've seen in other angles of this scene. There's a couple of things in this trailer that I do want to say. I hope Gunn, I guess to try and in good faith say this, I hope that he takes into account things like this with Superman holding back, or there's an answer for it when he's like punching that Lex Trooper or that Raptor in the trailer and his teeth fly out. It's like, well, how does he? Or maybe you could just say Superman is holding his punch back, which is why his head doesn't fly off. But the heat vision, how does heat vision work in this universe? I do want to say, first of all, this shot is sick. Like Superman spinning around like a freaking Beyblade, knocking out so many of Lex's Raptors, because that's what they're called apparently, the Lex Troopers, with his heat vision. Now, again, the nitpick I have, or an apprehension I have, is how does he know that this heat vision isn't going to slice and dice for everyone? And why doesn't it? Is he just relying on the fact that the Lex Trooper armor can hold up under heat vision? And the reason why I bring up this as a concern is because I don't want it to be put off as a don't ask questions thing. It's like, oh yeah, just think of like, hey, look, it looks cool, but don't ask questions. I don't want it to be that thing. So again, I'm not trying to just sound negative here. I'm just bringing up things that I would like the movie to not fall into what some other comic book movies doing, where they just hope that you don't ask questions or stuff like that. But other than that, does it look freaking badass? Yes. And we've all been waiting to see what the bloody heat vision looks like. I do think there is valid aspects to criticisms like this, because, if he heat visions a few of them and they fly down, will they fall to their death? Or is he actually going to try and save them before they fall? If not, and you don't ask questions about that, are we just meant to assume that they died? But it's those things that do still canonically adhere to what that character is in this universe, if that makes sense. But going back to like this whole pocket dimension thing, it's so confusing. It's like Lex's pocket dimension. And as I briefly teased a second ago, we theorized, but I didn't have much logic behind it, that when we saw in the official trailer the water splitting and we saw the same shapes that were in that pocket dimension place that Mr. Terrific and Lois go into, was somehow bleeding out into reality. And now we're seeing that even more with like Mr. Terrific checking on Superman there. You can see like more weird stuff happening in the background there. And speaking of weird stuff that could be linked to this bloody pocket dimension place, we have like bloody umbilical cords flying everywhere from Metamorpho. Like, I don't know. And then you see these little Minecraft quantum unfolding chamber-esque blocks floating into the distance as Superman is being held onto. And Superman's holding onto Metamorpho's toddler son or kid's son. What is going on? And is that Krypto to the left there? Might be. I think it is. Is that? Yeah, I think it is. It's also pretty epic seeing, and we kind of knew this from filming, Lois, Perry, Jimmy, and Ron Troop, I believe, in the T-ship flying around. I wonder what they're going to do, though. I mean, we know they arrive from filming on like a street, but where are they trying to get to? Are they trying to help out Superman? Can they help out so much with this ship? So it's cool seeing Lois get very, very, very hands-on when the push is coming to shove at this point in the plot. Now, Luthor's meltdown here is actually so bad in the sense that they cut from the people in Baravia choosing Superman, calling out to him, and sure, these scenes might not be completely linked, but either way, there's a scene in the movie where he says they chose him, let them die. So Luthor's that pissed that maybe he could do something or stop something that he's doing in order to make Superman look bad but could cause collateral damage. He could stop it, but he's like, nope, they chose him. Let them die. What a dick. So I think I'm going to end this video here, guys. I just wanted to put something out while I work on my next video. Let me know if you want me to do an in-depth breakdown on this a little bit later on this week, because again, there's other things for me to tackle that I'll be uploading later on tonight or tomorrow. But there's a lot of new footage here. This definitely begs a discussion series back and forth between me and you guys at the very least. There's a ton to talk about. Let me know if you got your Superman tickets as well. Can't wait to see what you guys have to say about this tickets on sale 2-minute trailer. Like the video if you got this far. Really appreciate you. Bear with the busy Boba as the content. I'm literally working back to back right now. It just takes me ages to edit videos. But until next time, fellow Kryptonians, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.